Hi guys, welcome to Make 2 and another episode of Let's Build a World in Minecraft Pocket Edition. Here we are in Maketopia. I left you hanging last week as we were exiting this... Oh no! I broke my thing! As we were exiting our subway station, I asked you, what do you think is going to be at the top of this subway exit? And today we are going to find out. So we've got our wall of snow I built, and let's just... Oh, I knocked down some of the floor, but that's okay. Let's knock it down enough for us to get out, and let's see what there is. There's daylight, that's a good sign. And now let's see, let's fly outside and see what there is. Well, there's a river, but that's not what I built, that was there before. Let's turn around and you can see, well, it looks a bit weird from this side, and it's not quite finished. There's more to it, but what I've built is a train station. So all of you who guessed train station, congratulations. This, I think, has been a missing piece for a while in our centre of the city. We've got a tower for the town hall, we've got a fire station, a police station, an apartment building, some houses, a commercial district, a theatre, but you need transport. There's a main thoroughfare for roads, but not for trains. So I thought this was long overdue. It's taken a long time to build. I did not realise how complicated something like this would be. You can see it's got lots of different parts to it, and we're going to take a look at all of them. I was inspired for this building from St Pancras Station, St Pancras Hotel in London. That gave me some of the design points, certainly for the use of the brick and a lighter colour, and I went with sandstone for the accent colour for this build, which I think worked out really nicely. It does give sort of great two-tone effect throughout. And for some of the lines and some of the design details, architectural style, I did take from St Pancras Hotel. But if you look up online, type into a search engine St Pancras Hotel, you'll see it also looks super different to what I've built. So it's not supposed to be a replica, it's just something that I got for inspiration. So let's take a look around this massive building, which is a station because it says down there, station. So we're at the front. Let's be methodical about this. Here's our main road, and from our main road there's an offshoot road, and I think this is, in real life I think this is actually a lot bigger when there's sort of car park space for dropping people off, but here's just a little road and you can follow this through and drop people off here and they can enter the station. And here you can see my snow wall to hide out what was going on because I didn't want you guys to see a week early while it was still under construction. And you can see this is a massive arch, so the entrance to the station is supposed to be really, really grand. You've got some lights super high up in the ceiling. There's some lights down there. We're going to explore that more next week because this station is not yet finished. And you'll see why if you haven't guessed already. At the front, I really like this. I made well, there's multiple levels going on this building, but I thought it was pretty cool to have this front section be it's just one level, completely flat, and then you get a real sense of both depth and height. As soon as you look up from this view, you've got the first level and then the third, or the second levelish of height, which is sort of 4 or 5 stories high. That's recessed, and I think that immediately gives a nice sense of angles to the place. There are a lot of strong vertical lines, as I've used in several of my recent builds. So here's a good and simple example of that. You can see just a very, very tall window and just a tall recessed column on each side. So actually, this wall, in quotes, is kind of like 3 deep. You have the wall on the outside, and then the wall on the inside. Well, actually, I guess it's 2 deep, sorry, my mistake. 2 deep. And you've got the same on the other side. And there's quite a lot of similarities between how these different walls are done, but I've tried to make the different sections of this massive train station a little bit different too. So there's some different techniques or different styles with using sandstone stairs. The windows are done a little bit differently on different floors and in different parts of the building. This here is super simple. This here is really simple. Because we go to this kind of offshoot part that curves round slightly, which is very much inspired by the original one. You can see we've just got this really tall lines, again simple windows that actually go all the way up this whole section from here all the way up to here, but I broke it up by putting some brick slabs in the middle just to make it look like it's on different floors, or just to, give some variance. I like this design myself. I think this is I think this is also too deep, but having the stairs go in and then in again in kind of an offset pattern, I just think makes it look really nice and does give a real sense of visual depth. So I've done that the same again on this. It's always starting to rain. So here we have the top of one tower, which each section of this is actually a little bit different, but I said uses some similar techniques throughout. We then have a blue wool roof with some windows on it, and that snakes all the way around the building. And you've got some more windows coming out of it here, and here you have the other tower, and as that gets to the top, this I'm really proud of. This is very much inspired by St Pancras Hotel. There's a clock face. Not an amazing clock, I would have had to do it much bigger than that, but you do, you know, it looks like a clock. There's a cross and there's some hands kind of. And then you move up from the hands and you get to a very thin spire. As thin as you can get building at this resolution in Minecraft. It's not as tall up here as our town hall, but it's close. It's only about 5 or 6 blocks off. And this is actually a really good vantage point to see down over our whole station. See, it's got just a really weird shape. It's got a very strong line this way, which is definitely where the bulk of the building is, but it's also got a wiggly line this way. So I think that looks really good. Let's go down and take a look at the other side. So from the back here, you can see kind of like this inner courtyard. And part of what I wanted this building to look like is look like it was built up over time. So you had one bit was just this central portion was made first. Then they did this extension. It looks a little bit different. It's kind of been squashed onto the sides. And then you've got this massive station that maybe was upgraded more recently when, you know, trains got bigger and there were more trains that were coming through this big station as Makeotopia expanded. I really like this window, and I really like the design on the edges. Just stairs going one way, facing outwards from the window. The problem with that is the glass doesn't connect them, but I don't think that's such a big deal. Here I've used upside down stairs and right way upstairs to create these recesses in the wall. So I think this looks really nice. And we've seen the station, and you can see from here, we've got just this massive now glass roof. So here's the glass roof in detail. It's a lot of glass blocks, but it has got a slight curve to it. And this is where the main trains would be. That's often how train stations are, this sort of big, functional, simple roof. But it does on this side have the nice dark blue normal roof again. Now this side took a long time to get the design right. You can, from certain angles, see the texture. It has got a lot of three-dimensional texture to it. And the roof on the wall, so on the other side, is the same. And you've got this kind of varied pattern of windows. So full height windows, partial height windows, full height, partial, and the width kind of changes over time. So you do get some shapes to it. And at the end you have these two large towers, which just are the really big supporting blocks for our station. And here you can see the other side of the station as well. And it's got a more plain roof here, and I just thought that's going to say station, so people who are maybe coming from the freeway over there could see this is where the train station is. So what's missing? Well, the station hasn't been built out this far. And yeah, I know it would have been great to show you the full station in one, but this station, the building was a massive affair. So what I want to do for the next build is show you the actual train lines themselves, and it looks like they're going to have to head out this way a little bit. I'm not quite sure how far I'll get. I'd like to build a train at the very least, and some proper train lines this way. I might use the rails, I might not, but that I think is going to be really good and complete this amazing centerpiece to Makeotopia. And oh, one thing I forgot to point out was I did a gutter at the top all the way around. These are stairs that are, facing inwards. So here you can see that little gutter gap, and that runs all the way around this sort of the top of the building. I don't know, I think it's just a nice little touch. So I'm pretty proud of this station. I'd love to know what you think. This is, have you built train stations? Any advice on what to do for train lines themselves? Please let me know. I'm probably going to look up some videos of what people do in big Minecraft for doing trains, because I have no experience building trains, and cars are not my greatest. So let me know what you think in the comments below. If not, please stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so, because there's plenty more Minecraft Pocket Edition on the way soon. Thanks for watching.